Right. Um, Hello everybody. Welcome to this Verbling class. Today's topic is having a bad day. Things to remember when you're having a bad day. So I'm sure that at some point all of us out there have had a bad day. But here we're going to be talking about some things that you should remember to help you get through the bad day and on to the next one, which will hopefully be better. It's going to be a bit of reading, a bit of speaking, and quite a lot of fun, hopefully. So do come along in and join us if you want to practice. I actually think this class is full, but you're welcome to join us by watching, and you can participate through the chat box as well if you would like to make any comments. If you're coming along into this class, then do click on the link. If you're watching, you can also share the article that we'll be reading together. While we're waiting for our students, let me share a couple of things that can help you out here on Verbling. So there are two important pages that you might want to check out. The first one is my Facebook page. My Verbling Teacher Facebook page is the one you can go to keep in touch, not just with me, but with all the other students and teachers on Facebook. If you're a Facebook addict, or if you like going on Facebook quite regularly, then it might be an idea for you to follow some of the teachers from Verbling on Facebook, and then you'll receive their updates in your news feed, and you can stay on track as you study throughout the week. If you want to find out more information about any of the Verbling teachers, then you can check out their Verbling teacher page. So on this page you'll find everything you need to know, hopefully. If you don't find everything you need to know, then you can get in touch with us via the messaging feature. Just write us a message asking your question. Private tutoring is something that's taking off on Verbling, and we do offer trial classes. So if you're not sure about it and you just want to see what it's like, then do book a trial session with the teacher, and then you can decide from there whether you want to continue or not. Private tutoring is a really good way of kind of speeding up your learning process, shall we say. If you love the classes and you want to attend all of the classes from a particular teacher, then you can find those on their Verbling teacher page. You can also find out a bit more about who we are, where we come from, how long we've been teaching, and all that kind of stuff. So do go ahead, check out those pages when you have time. We're going to say hi now and see who we've got to talk about having a bad day. So, David, I'll welcome you first because you were here first. So how often do you think that you actually have what you'd call a bad day?
I think it's not usually for me. I have a bad day when I have no chance to change it. I mean, if one day begin to happen many things that I can't control it and I can't do anything to change it. It can be a bad day for me, but I can't do anything to change this day. And then I think when I have a bad day, it's not my fault. It's I think something that I find in the way, and I have to accept it and 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 forget it as soon as possible.
All right. So it doesn't happen often, but when it does, you're not really in control of it, David.
Yes.
Okay. Great intro. Thank you. Welcome to the class again. It'll be great to have you again talking to us about this topic.
Thanks.
We'll go now to Black Swan. Hello.
Hello, everybody. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Yeah, how are you all?
It's great to meet you. I'm very well, thank you. Is that your real name?
No, actually, I just changed it for a red one, but it seems that it's not it is not changed yet. So maybe it will be changed for the next time.
Okay, so what should I call you in this class?
If you give me a couple of seconds, I will write it for you.
Okay. Gosh, is it that hard? You have to write it down.
So that's the red one.
Red one. Okay, so that's your actual name?
Yeah, yes, yes, it is.
Thank you. Well, it's lovely to meet you, Red One. Where are you from?
I'm from Paris.
You're from Paris. Okay. Are you in Paris right now?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Well, you never know. Some people live in different countries. Um, you lucky thing that you get to live in Paris. Do
I,
you like
I,
living there?
yeah, I really like Paris. Do you know that I really appreciated Paris when when I traveled around the world.
Hmm.
Uh, I thought that Paris was a really nice city. Because when you used to be here and just living here and you can't really you don't really you don't see how much is a beautiful city and blah blah blah. So sometimes you need to move um, to get there. So
Yeah, absolutely. I know what you're saying, Red One. It's like you don't really appreciate the things about the place that you live until you see where other people live, right? And then you suddenly think, whoa, we're lucky.
yeah, sure.
All right, well, it's lovely to have you in the class. I'm just finding it a little bit tricky hearing you. It sounds a bit muffled. I don't know whether you can just clear access to your microphone or something. That might help a little bit.
Okay, I'm going to try to do so. So
All right, I will come back and say hi again to you in a moment, Black Swan. I'm going to mute you for the moment so you can have a fiddle round, okay? Mustafa, hello. Are you there?
Hello. Yeah, I'm
Hello, how
here.
are you?
I'm fine. What about you?
I'm very well, thank you, Mustafa. Tell us about having a bad day. Do you ever have a bad day?
Yeah, everyone for sure has a bad day.
Every Monday?
I think there is a problem with the connection. I
Ah,
can't hear you. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, but it sounds like it's cutting out or something. Yeah. Can you repeat what you said? How often do you have a bad day?
No, I will say that every one of us for sure has a bad day in his life.
Absolutely. Do you have them quite frequently or not very often?
Not very often. I think like maybe one day or 2 days per month,
Hmm.
as I think.
Okay. And tell me, Mustafa, for you, what is a bad day like? Why would you classify a day as a bad day? What has to happen for it to be a bad day?
Because I think, like, for example, I am expecting some things to happen and I found the opposite, like
Ah,
being
okay.
disappointed.
Yeah. Being disappointed, or maybe when your expectations are not met.
Yes, right.
Good definition. I hadn't thought of that. Thank you, Mustafa. Well, welcome to the class. It's great to have you today.
Thank you.
All right, Francisco, hello.
Hi, hello.
Have I met you before, Francisco?
No,
All
I
right,
think this is my first time with you.
excellent. Well, that's great news. How are you? It's lovely to meet you.
I'm 25.
Okay, that's how old are you? But what I said was, how are you? Are you good?
Okay.
Bad? Are you having a bad
I'm
day?
fine. I'm fine, thank you.
All right. Where are you from, Francisco?
I'm from Spain.
Okay, which part of Spain?
Southwest of Spain, near Portugal.
Okay, excellent. And Francisco, we're talking today about having a bad day, right? Um, and Mustafa has just said that a bad day for him is when he's disappointed or when his expectations are not met. What about you? What is a bad day like for you?
But they could be when things go wrong, when things doesn't happen like you want.
Mhm.
I don't know, when you feel bad in general, not about health,
Mhm.
about your mind, about your feelings. I
Mhm.
don't know.
All right, good ideas, great ideas. Thank you. Welcome to the class.
Thank you.
Okay, Raphael, how are you?
Hi, Amy. I'm fine, thanks. And you?
You actually, you look like an angel today because the light is like behind your head,
Yes, yes, I was.
shining like a
Oh,
halo.
It's a coincidence.
Yeah, it's okay. Don't worry about it. I'm just going to believe everything you say today like an answer's coming from God. So what's a bad day like for you? What would you say is a bad day?
It's relative. Depends on how I wake up. Depends on. Sometimes I just don't. I'm not feeling happy with something, and it looks like everything is a mess. Everything is complicated, and I don't know. So sometimes a lot of bad things can happen, and I don't feel anything about it. But sometimes just it takes a little, um, just a little thing, just a little issue, just a little problem. It's enough to mess with my day. So it's hard to define, I think.
I think so too. It's interesting hearing all of your different ideas about what makes up a bad day. But I have to agree with that, Raphael. Sometimes it's really easy to get annoyed, angry, upset, or have a bad day. And other times it takes a lot more to push you off your positive, I don't know, pedestal, I guess. All right, welcome to the class. Yuki, hello.
Hi there again.
Hi there. How often do you have a bad day, Yuki?
Worst day, yeah. Maybe my worst day of my life is when Russia have a economic crisis in 1998. Then
Why was that the worst day of your life, Yuki?
Russia had a serious economic crisis.
Mm-hmm.
There was a devaluation, and almost all banks in Moscow has been bankrupted. Yes, I received my salary through a bank, so I was very anxious about getting my salary and my savings. I went to the bank as I expected in front of the cashing machine. There are long lines.
Mm-hmm.
And I directly went to went to the counter, talked to the bank teller.
Yes, very good.
Bank teller. He said, "Do you know how he said?" He said, "We have no money to pay you." I said I want to withdraw my savings. He said, "I don't have no money to pay you." First time in my life hearing such a things in bank, I was very surprised. All things might happen here. First time I realized that.
Absolutely, Yuki. What an experience! My goodness, I can imagine how that would be very stressful.
But fortunately, I could withdraw my money. Next day, the bank was bankrupted. So I almost gave up withdrawing my money. But fortunately, after that, I went to a business trip to Finland, next country to Russia. I desperately tried to withdraw with my credit card from cashing machine in Helsinki.
Mm-hmm.
I could withdraw all money.
Wow,
It
so you
worked.
took out all of the money from your account in a cash machine in Finland?
Finland. Yes.
Yuki, what a story.
Bank has bankrupted. There is no bank already, but online worked. So I could save all my savings.
Oh my goodness, Yuki.
Yes.
Well, good job you went to
I'm
Finland.
lucky.
Very lucky.
Until now, I
Gracious.
don't know why such a thing have happened.
Yuki, my goodness. Well, I don't know whether these tips are
It's
going
a
to
kind of
help you.
adventure. Yes.
I was just going to say that we're going to be reading some tips or things to remember when you're having a bad day, but to be honest, if it's that bad of a day, I don't know if these are going to help you. But if you're having a reasonably bad day, not like your life savings have just gone down the drain, then maybe these things will help you. I just want to say hi to Abdallah, who's just joined us.
Hi, Amy. How are you?
I'm well, thank you, Abdallah. Nice to see you. Welcome to the class.
You are welcome.
We're just about to start reading, Abdallah, so join us. I'm going to do a screen share, guys. If you want the article yourself, then I'll give you the link as well. You might want to load that up. Is that working? No. Okay, let's try that again. Oh, this is great. Sorry, computer's frozen. Let's try that. Can you guys see anything? No.
I can see Mark and Angel hack live.
Excellent. That's great. I don't know what's happening.
No. Where is it?
Oh, teacher was gone.
Yes.
Are you alright, classmates? Yeah?
We are alone.
Yeah,
And
well,
Rafael too. I think that
Oh,
they
Raphael
went.
also
Yes.
was gone.
Perhaps a love story between Rafael
Maybe
and the
they
teacher.
have a date. Yes, yes, yes. It's very suspicious. Yeah.
David, you can be the teacher now. David,
Yes. Hello?
yeah, you can be the teacher now.
No,
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Maybe Raphael asked the teacher for a date.
Rafael
They went out on the
could
date.
be a teacher.
Sorry?
Raphael, haven't you asked our teacher for a date? You went out on the date, no? With our teacher.
On a date? No.
Yes, because you and the teacher at the same
I
time
don't-
appeared.
I don't remember that, Yuki.
We are talking about
it.
it.
Dream or something.
Alright, guys, I'm sorry about that. I hope you're having a great discussion.
You are dating with Raphael?
I'm
Okay.
dating Raphael.
Yes.
No, I'm not dating Raphael, Yuki.
Yuki is inspired today. Very inspired.
We are very suspicious about your dating.
You're very suspicious about my dating?
Yes, because you and Raphael at the same time has disappeared.
Ah, I
Suddenly.
see.
Okay.
No,
So we are.
we tried to make it more subtle, and we wouldn't leave in the middle of a class, Yuki.
It's our secret. We won't tell you, Yuki.
Alright, well I don't know what happened there, but it obviously affected Raphael and me. Anyway, we're back, and we're going to read about 18 great reminders when you're having a bad day. So, write these down if you have frequent bad days, guys. We'll take it in turns to read. I'm going to get Abdullah to read first for us. Abdullah, if you could read for me this, please.
Okay, but actually I don't find the link for.
Alright, let me give you the link again. It must not have pasted properly. Just a sec. Here we go. There's the link there. Are you able to see the screen, guys? Can you see the screen share that I'm doing?
Yes.
Cool. Okay. So, Abdullah, you can just read straight off your screen, or you can load up the article in your own window, okay?
Okay. I can start from sometimes you
Yes,
have.
please. Yep.
Sometimes you have to get knocked down lower than you have ever been to stand up taller than you ever were before. Sometimes your eyes need to be washed by your tears so you can see the possibility in the front of you with a clear vision again.
Excellent. Keep going, please.
What?
Could you keep reading just a little bit longer?
Yeah. Last night I had a long conversation with my wise
Yep.
71-year-old dad about living and growing through adversity. One of the last things he said before we got off the phone resonated with me so much. I wrote it down. It's been my experience that most people aren't truly happy until they have had many reasons to be sad. I believe this is because it takes all of those bad days and hardships to teach us how to truly appreciate what we have. It builds our resilience.
Excellent. Thank you. This is resilience. Whoops. Resilience. Well done. That was lovely reading, and thank you for reading the intro for us. Okay, so he's giving us a bit of a philosophical introduction, and I think it's good to remember this, but it's hard actually to remember it when you're having a bad time. It's all very easy to remember it afterwards when you've recovered, but sometimes when you're actually in the middle of a situation, it can be quite difficult to remember to think positively. Let's read Red One. Could you read from Honestly, please?
Honestly, I don't think it gets any closer to the truth than that. Not every day is good, but there is something good about every day. It takes a strong person to see the positive on done days. The key I have learned lies in letting go. It's about realizing that except for your own soul, there is nothing that's absolutely in your power. Knowing and accepting this gives you the ability to cope effectively with life's constant stream of little tragedies, an aptitude we call resilience. Ultimately, you can fight life, you can do nothing but complain about what you're missing, or you can accept everything you have and put it together to create something worth smiling about. So with this in mind, here are some good things to keep in mind when you're having a bad day.
Thank you, Red One. Great reading from you too. Just a couple of things about some vowel sounds here. So we had a couple of tricky ones. This one here is power, an ow sound rather than o. Okay, so in your power.
Okay. Power.
Yeah, that's much better. And then this one is own, your own thoughts.
Your own thoughts.
Yeah, that's much better. Well done. Okay. Does anyone have any questions about vocab or any of the words or grammar that we just read here before we go on to the reminders?
Yeah. Yes, excuse me, Emmy.
Yes, go ahead.
The last word in the first paragraph, resilience. What's it?
Resilience. Yep,
Really?
here we go. What does resilience mean, guys? Anyone know?
I think it's the ability you have to, I don't know how to say, when you have a bad day or something bad happens in your life, the ability you have to forget it and continue with your life.
Absolutely, that's a really good explanation. You could also say, David, the ability to bounce back. We sometimes say that as a kind of colloquial way of saying what you just described. The ability to recover after something bad has happened to you. So if you have a lot of resilience, then you're able to do that well, yeah? Perfect. Any other questions? No? Okay, let's read the reminders. So, David, you're up with number 1, please.
Yes. The right attitude is the one thing you need right now. What you focus on changes everything. Don't look back when you know you shouldn't. Don't worry about what you can't control. Don't stress over unimportant things. Be positive. Seriously, the most underrated trait of all successful people I've ever met is positive. Your attitude directly determines how well you live your life. You simply can't live a positive life with a negative attitude. Don't let mental blocks control you. Set yourself free. Confront your negativity and turn the mental blocks into building blocks.
Thank you, David. Really great reading. Okay. Questions first of all. Any questions about vocab, meaning, grammar? No? In that case, I'm going to ask Francisco. Francisco, what do you think about this point? Is this a useful thing to remember, or is this unhelpful? Are you there, Francisco? No, maybe not. All right. Abdallah, I'll ask you instead. What do you think about this point number 1?
I agree with that you don't look at the things that you don't have. You must look at what you already have. And there was a famous saying that you don't look at the half of a cup of water that is not contain water. You should look at the half that contains the water. I
Absolutely.
I don't know if that translation makes sense with you, but it is an idiom in Arabic. I don't know if there is something like that in English.
Yes, we have a very, very similar one, Abdullah. What we usually say is, do you see your cup as half empty or half full? So if you see it as half full, then you're looking at the water, and if you see it as half empty, you're looking at the air, I guess. So yeah, we have the same. Do you think though that it's difficult to do this in the middle of actually a negative experience? Are you able to think positively all the time, or do you find it quite difficult?
I think we can train ourselves to have this ability, but I think it will be a little bit difficult.
Mm-hmm.
I think because this is our nature, the nature of human, to also to look at what they don't have. They
Yeah.
also want to have more and more. This is our nature, and so I think it would be a little difficult to
Mm-hmm.
uh, to make this ability, this skills or this ability in
Mm-hmm.
us. Thank you.
All right, thank you. That was a very interesting response, Abdullah. Thanks for that. Okay, we're going to go to number 2. And Raphael, your turn to read.
You can be truly happy unless you're unhappy sometimes too. If we had no winter, the spring would be not so pleasant. If we did not sometimes taste adversity, prosperity would not be so welcome. Feelings, good and bad, always come and go. The trick is to be grateful when your mood is high and grateful when it's low.
Cool. Thanks, Raphael. Really lovely reading, as always. Just a note, when you're making comparisons, focus your attention on the words that you're comparing, or the theme, right? So you can't be truly happy unless you're unhappy sometimes too. Especially, you can focus a lot of emphasis on the un because you're contrasting it with happy, right? So just a little note about intonation. Okay, I'm going to ask this time, red one. What do you think about point number 2?
Point number 2 is put the stress on the fact that people can't, people can't see the good things if they don't see the bad, not the bad things, but when things are not very well. So they've got to consider to be able to. Actually, I don't have the good words to explain that, but.
You're doing great. It's a difficult topic, but you're doing great. Keep going.
Well, I think that it has some connection with what we have said before. If you didn't, experience like bad experience, you will not experience good experience.
Absolutely.
So this is what I can say about this point number 2.
Okay, it's great. Do you think this is a useful thing to remember if you're going through a bad experience, or do you think it's not particularly helpful at that time?
Actually, I think that it's really helpful about to consider that point.
Do you remember this when you're having bad times, red one?
I try to do so. It's not actually really easy to do so, but I try to do so because it's the same with people who have less than you. Sometimes you just considering when you want more, when you fail in getting something, if you didn't get a job, or I don't know, if you miss an exam, if you don't succeed on an exam, if you fail an exam, if you fail in any situation, sometimes it's good to remember, people who have less than you, or situations, better situations, so you can better appreciate, the new situation. I don't know if you see what I mean.
Yeah, absolutely. Perfectly explained. I agree. I think the example you give of failing an exam is a really good one, because it's something that you can sort of take a step back. It's like a one-off event that you feel absolutely awful about when it happens, but you can actually learn from it if you think about it for a bit. So, good example. Okay, number 3, Yuki.
Okay. Number 3. You still learn something important from any situation if you want to.
Wait, Yuki, that one's number 4. Can you do number 3?
I'm sorry, I skipped. Number 3, you still have many blessings that you can make count. Yes, always count your blessings, but don't forget to make your blessings count too. There's no good reason. There's no good reason why you must settle for anything less than the very best life has to offer. Start now by sincerely appreciating the things you have and making the most of them. Happiness and success in life are not the byproducts of limitless resources. Happiness and success stem from stretching the limits of the available resources.
Thank you, Yuki. Lovely reading. Anybody got any questions?
Yeah, what's the meaning of you always count your blessing, but don't forget to make your blessing count too.
Good point. I was going to bring that one up as well, Abdullah. Can anyone explain what that means? All right. So let's look at it one part at a time. The thing is that there's a little bit of wordplay going on here, right? So one, we have a cliche or an idiom in English, which is count your blessings. And can someone explain to me what is a blessing?
Does it have any connection with the formula "bless you" when we say "God bless you"? Something else?
Yes, it does. Exactly right. Red one. So a blessing is, I suppose, in the strictest sense of the word, it's like a gift from God, right? If God blesses you, he's kind of giving you his goodwill or sending you a good wish or something. But usually we use it to describe things that we have in our lives that are lucky or something really good in our lives. So a blessing could be the fact that you have somewhere to live, that you have food, clothes, maybe you have a family that loves you, anything like that. So if you count your blessings, it means that you're literally counting how many blessings do I have? I have this, 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 this. I'm really lucky, right? But to make something count, what does to make something count mean? If I say to you, make each day count, what would it mean? Sorry, go ahead, Raphael.
To consider your blessings, to make them, accountable, or to give value to them.
Yep. Definitely. Anyone else got any other comments?
I don't understand what to make your blessing count. Perhaps you are trying to say that I would have a limit for my targeted blessing, and I would be satisfied.
Almost, Abdullah. So let's look at it all together.
I think here it is said that don't complain of lack of your blessedness. You realize that you have enough blessing already that already counted.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And that's a nice way of putting it. So if you make your blessings count, or you make your time count, or you make your day count, it means that you put effort into making it good. You appreciate it, basically. So it's saying that you can count how many blessings you have, but also don't forget how valuable each one is. Don't forget to appreciate what you've got. Even though you might be focusing on, oh, I haven't got this, or I just lost my job, try to remember that you actually still have a family, you're not sick, all of those kind of things, and how valuable each one of those is. Is that clearer for you, Abdullah? Great, okay. David, what do you think of point number 3?
I agree with it. And I think I totally agree with the part that says start now by sincerely appreciating the things you have and making the most of them. Mm-hmm. I think for me it's the most important phrase in this paragraph.
Okay. I agree, David. I actually think this is one of the fastest ways to cheer yourself up. Because I think we all have lots and lots of things to be grateful for, no matter how bad we think things are. If you look at some of the really valuable things that you have in your life and you actually think, yeah, that's cool, you cheer up really quickly, or at least I do. So I find this one really helpful personally.
It reminds me of the words in the Bible.
Mm-hmm.
Look at the birds of the air.
Mm-hmm.
They neither sow or reap nor gather into barns, something. It is the words of Jesus, yeah?
I didn't catch the second half of that, Yuki. What do the birds in the air do?
Jesus said in Evangelion, there is such a phrase of Jesus, look at the birds of the air. They neither sow or reap nor gather into barns, and yet your heavenly Father feeds them.
Okay.
Are you
Yes,
not
you're
more
absolutely right.
valued than them? Yeah.
Which
Kind
the
of thing.
overall message is like, don't worry about what you haven't got, basically.
Yes, you already have enough blessing.
Yeah, absolutely.
From God.
Thank you, Yuki. All right, I agree with that. Let's go on to number 4, and I'll get Abdallah. Could you read this one, please?
I can start from where? From 5? Or
From
4?
number 4, you can learn.
You can learn something important from any situation if you want to. Experience is not what happens to you, it is what you do with what happens to you. Take everything as a lesson learned. You are the book, you are the books you read, the films you watch, the people you met, the dreams you have, and the conversation you engage in. You are a combination of what you take from this. You are the sound of thunder, the breath of fresh air, the brightest light, and the darkest corner. You embody every experience you have had in your life. You are every single day, even the bad one. So, drown yourself in a sea of knowledge. Let the experience run through your vein and let the lesson grow your mind.
Excellent. Okay, anybody got any questions?
Thunder, what's the meaning of thunder?
Thunder. What is thunder? Anybody?
Yeah.
Thunder is a disaster from how to say? Thunder is lightning. No?
Thunder goes with lightning. It's not actually lightning. So thunder is that big noise that you get during a storm, Abdullah. Rumbling noise. And then lightning is the light that flashes across the sky. Any other questions? All right, Yuki, your turn to respond. What do you think?
Yes, I think it is very good written. Yes, there is in any situation there are things we can learn, and even if we are very bad situation, we are in very bad situation. We can find the things we learn and use it for next steps of your life. So, yes, very yes, good things.
You agree with it? It's a good thing to remember.
Yes, and there are, as it is written here, there are many things might happen in your life. There is a good day and bad day. There might be a good days and bad days.
Mhm.
But only one thing you have to pay attention is your preparedness of learning something.
Mhm.
I think such your struggle, your attempt maybe lead you to the good fortune. That's my opinion.
All right, thanks, Yuki. That's a really interesting point. Okay, let's have a look at number 5. This is quite short and sweet. Red one, number 5.
Do you want me to read?
Yes, please.
Your best bet is to take a chance on the present moment. Every moment gives you a new beginning and a new ending. Be thankful to start from where you are now. Wishing for a different path will only waste your energy. If you're feeling down right now, each second that passes is another moment to turn it around. To turn it all around.
Yep, absolutely. To turn it all around. What does it mean to turn something around?
I'm thinking actually.
No problem.
No. If you can help me.
Okay, no idea at all, Red one? Or do you have a kind of a guess that you could try? What do you think it means?
Take passive is another one to turn it through. I don't know, maybe it's like each moment, okay, it's a chance to be thinking about something. You have to use the time.
Mhm.
Each second, each minute
Mhm.
to make something with.
Yeah, absolutely. So the point of this is really like use the moments that you have, and to turn something around really means to usually we use it in the sense of something bad is happening or has happened to you. If you turn it around, then you change the situation. You turn the situation so that it's its opposite, i.e., good becomes bad. I mean, bad becomes good. Sometimes we just say somebody was having a bad time and they turned themselves around. It means that they totally changed their behavior and they improved and they're successful now. Something like that.
Okay, thank you so much.
No worries. Okay, who should we ask this time? Let's ask Abdullah. What do you think about this point, Abdullah? Do you understand what it's talking about?
I think that he is trying to say that we should forgive and forget what bad things happened in the past, and we should try to learn from these faults or mistakes.
I absolutely agree. And do you think that you are a person who does this easily, or do you find it difficult?
I think it is easy to know to bypass your mistakes and don't repeat it again. Not to lose anything more. I think it is easy for me.
I like the point that you just said there, actually, Abdullah, not to lose anything more. So, if something bad happens to you, you've got a choice. You can let it kind of ruin your life, or you can decide, okay, I'm not going to let this do anything worse to me. I'm going to move on from it right now. I really like that because, yeah, it's sort of, there comes a point when I think it's up to you whether it affects you or not. Obviously, things happen to us, but how far they have an impact on us is really up to us, isn't it? Okay, let's read number 6. This is for David.
Okay, you are not a victim. You have an interesting life and it is magnificent even during the toughest times. Keep this in mind and live it accordingly. You are in control. Change your thoughts. As long as you think that the cause of your problem is out there, somewhere else, as long as you think that someone or something else is responsible for your suffering, your situation is hopeless. It means that you are forever in the victim role, that you are suffering even in paradise. Don't do this to yourself. Be your hero, not your victim.
Beautiful reading, David. Thank you. Okay, questions? Nope.
The toughest times, during the toughest times,
Okay.
I
Anyone like to...
don't know.
What it means?
Most difficult times?
Yeah, basically the most difficult times, David.
Okay.
If something is tough, it means that it's a challenge. It's quite difficult. It's quite hard. Something like that. Okay, Yuki, what do you think of this one?
I think here, after author want to say that to change your mind, don't think that you are always not a big. Don't think about the way you are always victim. There is even if you are in the light, if you are in the paradise, if you think negatively, it would be like hell. So for you, so you have to control your feeling and think positively, and then you find happiness everywhere, every time, even when you are in happiness, in bad situation.
Yeah, Yuki, I think that's a really good point.
I want to cry. It's very good words. Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. I think
it moves me.
Aww, that's nice, Yuki. I really like the way that you say, you know, there are some people, because I can think of a few people, and I'm sure you guys can too, that even if they were in paradise, it seems like they'd probably complain about something. And it just goes to show you that it's not actually about what happens to you, is it? It's about what you decide to think about it and how you react to it, because there are also other people that I'm sure you guys can think of too that seem to always be happy and positive. Even, you know, they have the same lives as everyone else, but they just choose or somehow manage to stay positive about things and deal with difficult things and not seeing themselves as a victim, I suppose. I think this is quite an important one. Does anyone else want to comment?
He's trying to say that the solution will come from your inside, not from others. So don't expect the solution to come from others or to others to help you unless you don't help yourself.
Yeah, great point, Abdullah. The solution will come from inside you rather than your inside, okay? Inside you. But also, I think that's quite empowering to remember that, because it also means that no matter what happens to you, you do have the ability, the power to find a solution. And if you say that, then you don't need to rely on anybody else. And you can be in control of your own experience, which I think is a lot better. All right, number 7. Raphael.
You are not who you once were, but who you believe you can become. You ultimately become what you believe yourself to be. If you keep on saying to yourself that you are incapable of doing a certain thing, it's likely that you will end up becoming incapable of doing it. On the contrary, if you have the belief that you can do it, despite your struggles and frustrations, you will likely acquire the capacity to do it. even if you can't do it right now.
Absolutely. Okay. Thank you for reading that one, Raphael. I'm going to ask this time David. What do you think about this one?
I agree with it too. I like the phrase, if you have the belief that you can do it, despite your struggles and frustration, you will acquire the capacity to do it. I think it's it's true, totally true.
Okay. So I think I've heard a saying before that really kind of brings this one home to me. How does it go? If you believe you can do it, you can. No, if you believe you can do it, you're right. If you believe you can't do it, you're right. So it depends on what you believe, basically, as to whether you think you can do it or not. Okay. Let's read one more and then we're going to have to finish, guys. So this one is for Yuki, number 8.
Okay, number 8. I hear some echo. Could you mute, classmates? Could you mute your
Can you guys
microphone?
just... Yeah, that's a good idea. Thanks, Yuki.
Thank you, thank you. You can move forward from here. Even the darkest night will eventually end, and the sun will rise. Remember this. If you take another step and another, you will be surprised to know how far you can go from the point you thought was the end. So say this to yourself and mean it with all your heart. I just need you to never give up on me, no matter how hard things get.
Yuki, would you mind reading number 9 as well? Because I think this is very, very related.
The best way to move forward is one tiny step at a time. You can't lift 1,000 pounds all at once, but you can easily lift 1 pound 1,000 times. In repetition, your little actions have great power.
Great, thanks, Yuki. Any questions, guys? Okay,
They are
Raphael.
very good words.
Very good words? Yeah, I think so. I want to hear what Raphael thinks about this.
Yes, I agree. I agree with this article, and when it means it's not. I think people are timid. People are rather anxious in order to trying to achieve their goals and achieve their happiness in the shorter time as soon as possible. But I think the physics doesn't allow it. It's not possible because there are so many things that must be, so many abilities we must develop throughout the life, and this requires time. And generally speaking, I believe we have to establish a threshold in your life. You have to establish a wall, a new beginning, and what is past stays the past. A minute ago, it's the past already, so it won't change. It won't change anymore. So I believe we need to draw a line and start to see things differently from now.
From now on.
Now on, yes.
Yeah. Okay. Excellent. I agree, 100%, and I think it's really useful, especially when you're having a bad day or you're finding something a struggle, like English learning. It's really useful to remember that thing about one tiny step at a time, because it's not something you can suddenly do. You can't learn a language like that. Even if you go and live in the country, it still takes a lot of hard work, effort, and time. So remember that one, guys. Thank you for your participation. excellent answers today, excellent responses. Don't forget to check out the chat box for some corrections and some useful stuff to remember. But otherwise, have a really great evening, day, morning, wherever you are. Take care. Good luck. Carry on with our English learning, and I'll see you again soon.
Thank you
Well,
so much.
Thank you for
Bye,
playing
guys.
us. Good to take this. Hope to see you soon.
Thank
Thanks,
you so much.
Yuki. You too. Bye.